sold. Just arrived at the toy store. I freaking love this place. Home Depot and Pep Boys are like toy stores to me. Like I used to hate going to Home Depot with like my mom and stuff when I was a kid. But now I can literally stay there for like hours and just find something I need. That's just with me, like freaking Home Depot is just like a massive toy store to me. I guessed it was gonna be a $100 oil change, and literally my total was $100.82. Mustang takes like 8 quarts of 5W20, so I just went ahead and got 2 of these 5 quarts. Pretty much saved 10 bucks versus buying 1 of these and 3 of like the small ones. So I saved money just buying 2, but damn, way more expensive than freaking this car. All right, you know what we gotta do under the bridge every time. The Mustang has obviously been sitting in the garage. I cleaned it like 1 time and I just had it parked in here because I don't know, when I like clean the car, I just like to park it and just not get it dirty, because I actually took a lot of time to like clean like everything, made it look like spotless. But damn, it looks so good in here, all clean with the new duck bill. If you guys haven't seen that video, check that out. It looks so sick. But yeah, time to do an oil change on this thing. Haven't done one yet ever since I got the car about, I want to say 5 or 6 months ago, but it's like long overdue for an oil change, so we're gonna take care of that. Alright, so it is the next day now. Yesterday, as you guys saw, we got some oil for the Mustang, but we kind of ran into a problem I was not expecting whatsoever. So what was supposed to go down was just a normal oil change, but then I just found out a bigger issue with it. So I might have to put that off until we fix it, but I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. As you can see, without even getting under the car, it is leaking a ton of oil right there and just right here. Alright, so we go under the car. So I'm coming in for the front, and it's pretty much, this is soaked in oil right here, dripping from this plastic piece, and it's coming from somewhere up there. Yeah, up there. I see there's oil dripping from the alternator. My first thought was that it was leaking from the oil pan. It looks like there's a lot of oil like wrapped around the oil pan, like the gasket and stuff, but I think it's coming from the top and it's just forming around here and coming down from right there. And it's also coming down on the transmission. But yeah, I don't know, like I thought it was coming from the oil pan from right here, but it wouldn't make sense as to why it's coming from the alternator, and that is at a higher level. So yeah, just back there, there's a ton of oil, and the oil filter looks good. I mean, it looks like it's coming from the bottom of the oil filter, but it wouldn't make sense as to why it's coming from the top up there. So I think it's coming from the valve cover gasket, and it's just dripping down onto all these parts. I researched, like all last night I was like researching like what the problem could be, and I just found out that like it's a common issue with Mustangs that it leaks from either of the valve cover gaskets. And one big thing is that sometimes those bolts come loose that secure the valve cover. So that's what I might try today. I might get to that point and see if those bolts are actually loose. If not, then it's probably the gasket itself. But yeah, all last night I was like researching what the problem could be, and I found out that 15 and up Mustangs, there's a very common issue that those bolts come loose or the gasket is bad. So we'll see. I heard there's like one bolt that's kind of hard to get to, but we'll figure it out once we go on. So yeah, oil leak. I barely had the car for like 6 months. It barely has like 45,000 miles on it. So it's fairly new. Shouldn't be having a leak already. Quite a few issues that I wasn't expecting or wanting to deal with when buying the Mustang, but it's a car. It is what it is. Even though it's like fairly new, it's all fixable. So I basically took off everything to inspect where the leak is coming from. Battery tray, heat shields, top cowl part, I don't know what you call it, strut bar, and I actually have to take off the cover. So I'm trying to see if I can see where the leak is coming from the right side, and I can't really see anything. It doesn't really look like it's leaking from this side. But that being said, I think I have to go from the left side.
Hold me to the best one. Dude, I see it.
You see it?
This gold is the vesicle.
Down there.
This one.
Yeah. All that oil. It's not like a lot though. I don't get it. Because the bottom is like soaked. Like, it's not like coming out a lot.
Could it be from your oil pan?
Maybe both. I don't know.
Because here, it's dry until it hits this lower part.
Because there's oil, I believe, at the bottom. The alternator.
Maybe when
you
right start it.
Because it drips down.
Onto the alternator?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of this. But, like, there's not even a lot of oil right here, you know? Like, it's not even dripping. I still think it's not enough to, like, make... Because, dude, there's a lot of oil down there.
So, it's your oil pan for sure, though.
Oil pan?
I'm not getting anything from there, dude.
Yeah, this...
It's not from here, or...
Dude, Chris,
No
watch
way.
this, watch this.
Bruh! This man just unscrewed it by hand. Those
Hardest
two?
grip.
What
These
about
two.
the third one's down there?
No, this one's tight.
That one's tight?
This one's tight.
Wow.
These two right here, though.
This one.
That's what...
That's
I think I stripped it,
crazy.
actually.
By hand, you stripped it?
You stripped in my hand? Damn, bro, you strong as hell.
So as you guys can see, I showed you guys where the oil leak is coming from, or from where you think where it's coming from. We want to say 2 oil leaks going on. One from the front of the valve cover, which is right here, and the bolt to go through here is really loose, which is a common issue for the Mustangs. So that's definitely one thing you got to keep in mind. If you have one and you do spot an oil leak, be sure to check the valve cover. In the description, I'll go ahead and link a PDF of pretty much how to like take everything apart and get to the valve cover to remove it. But yeah, that'll be in the description. Yeah, I feel like the leak from the alternator is coming from the point where I showed you guys up at the top from the valve cover. So I think this is where this leak is coming from. But when I look at this, it looks like it's leaking a lot. Like there's a ton of oil, especially right here. You can see just oil covering like all the screws. And I just feel like this is like more oil than what is coming out from the top. Kind of hard to like comprehend like why. And I heard like when it leaks from the valve cover, it leaks onto the headers and all the header bolts, and they literally look dry. So I just feel like there's 2 separate ones going on. So I think we're gonna have to replace the oil pan gasket, which is a pain because you have to drop the whole subframe and literally take more stuff apart. But yeah, I think that's what the thing is gonna be. Probably just tighten up the bolts from the valve and then do a whole oil pan gasket replacement. So I think that's what we're gonna do to move forward. Yeah, this is a lot, like, around the whole perimeter. I hope it's nothing like big with the motor. If there's another way it could leak, but from what we saw, I think it's the oil pan and the valve cover. Oh man. Yeah, even when we go around to the other side, still around the whole oil pan.